With 2022 coming to a close, it is time for the yearly tradition of sitting back and looking back at what the year has brought us. And more importantly, me. 2022 as a whole, though, seemed to kind of be in the year where everything kind of returns to normal, but also became a whole lot worse because we figured out what exactly we have been doing for the past 2 years in terms of the economy. Oh boy, stuff certainly has gone up, and not in the typically fun way where things go up, if you catch my drift.
A penis!
On a more personal level, I feel that it's been a bit of a weird year for me. Without going into too much detail, a loss of direction would kind of be a phrase I'd like to use. You're on a steady flow and everything is going like it should, but then suddenly the wheel starts turning, but you're not exactly sure if it actually is turning, and if it's worth to stay on the ship. But because you're not sure, you just kind of stick to staying on the ship until you finally would find out that it might have been a waste of time. Or was it actually? I guess uncertainty would kind of be the word that would describe my 2022. But you know, I lost a bunch of weight and I got a bunch more energy from working out consistently, so that's been nice, you know. Not having the gym shut down every 2 months has definitely been a big step in the right direction. Also, a big thanks to everyone that does watch my stuff. It really just allows me to kind of keep my mind focused on something I enjoy, whether that's just a discussion video or just doing a bunch of Twitch streams. You know, it goes a long way, and especially those who do watch my Twitch streams and watch basically every single one of them. I do very much appreciate you, and trust me when I say I see those people in Twitch chat and I do know your name. You never ever go unnoticed. So thank you. But before we continue, I have to tell you about... I'm just kidding. No selling out today. As for the channels, my approach has kind of changed this year, and if you watched the 2021 video last year, you probably didn't think this is any sort of surprise, because in that video I've said what I ended up doing. Rather than trying to upload anything that I know really won't do all that well, I kind of shifting to uploading to stuff that actually people want to see. And instead of spending all those hours into making videos people will probably have very little interest in, I instead have spent some of that time streaming on Twitch instead. This doesn't mean that I won't try new stuff still. Something like the hot take stuff has done pretty decently, and I'll definitely be looking into making some more of that to see how it does, especially with my renewed focus on trying to see if I can improve my thumbnails some more, because they definitely have a long way to go. And now obviously better thumbnails will also equal more people be likely to check out the video and giving it a shot, thus making it more appealing to even go as far as making more episodes. You know, the wonders of YouTube. Now I know some of you will also wonder about the honest car commercials, forgotten vehicles, and high-side randoms. And well, while we're here, we might as well answer that. The primary issue with those series is really the fact that I've done so many, primarily honest car commercials and forgotten vehicles. Honest car commercials, for example, is close to 70 episodes, if not past that. And really, there hasn't really been any interesting cars released, to me at least, for the past couple of DLCs to maybe go like, that'd be great to make an honest car commercial on. If it's like a short little line with an honest DLC commercial, then yeah, it does make sense. But honest DLC commercial is kind of suffering the same fate, because if we were to make an honest DLC commercial on the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC, I'd probably end up making a very similar honest DLC commercial to the one I did about criminal enterprises, which means that I'll end up making like something similar, and I'm not really a fan of making stuff that is too similar to each other nowadays, because I don't want to repeat myself. Because if you happen to go back watching those episodes or watching them in the order they've been released, I don't want you to feel like, this is kind of like the same as it was the last time. At least that's how I feel about it. Forgotten Vehicles kind of suffers from the same fate as well. There hasn't really been any sort of new interesting vehicles released, or I've pretty much covered all the vehicles that I personally think have really been forgotten about or really do something unique, which is kind of how the series ended up becoming, instead of just, let's just upload a video that I personally enjoy driving, but it's just another supercar or just another sports car. Maybe I'm getting too, picky with it. I don't know. As for high-side randoms, it's just really difficult to get footage for nowadays, because while I love this series to death and I really enjoy making them, I really have to find something unique for every episode, which hasn't really been happening. Like with high-side randoms, I want every single episode to be different, and have some unique things happening, like something that makes you go, oh, I never seen that in a previous episode before. And well, it's fine for stream to just go like, haha, random died in the same way for the 5th time. For YouTube videos, it would just end up being very bland. And speaking of videos on YouTube, I'll probably do some more YouTube streams in the future. I'm kind of debating on what day to do this. Currently kind of leaning toward like Thursdays, but I'll have to test the waters a little bit. I'll probably end up doing some Heist and Randoms live for those who miss it. I'll have to see how schedules and that sort of stuff will work out, because Thursdays would make the most sense for me at least. But yeah, obviously with certain times and certain event weeks, multiple videos need to be uploaded, and because I have to abide to the almighty algorithm gods, it wouldn't make sense to start streaming on the same day. But I'll figure out some way. Maybe I'll do it another day. You'll see it happen whenever. As for Twitch, still having a blast streaming on there, you know. If you haven't yet, give me a follow. Loving the community we got going on there. And, you know, shit is always there to roast me alive and well, but there's also moments where there's some genuine good moments happening where, you know, people come together and become as one to still take the piss out of me. But, you know, the highlight of the year has undoubtedly been Driver 3. And more recently, I went to do some long drive with Sunny, and I nearly passed out laughing. I think hopefully by the time you're watching this video, that has been released already. If it hasn't yet, then keep an eye out for it. Driver 3 has become a video too. Checked it out. Pleasantly surprised actually with how many people actually decided to check it out. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. It's honestly great. High on Life has been a great laugh too. Lots of fun jokes in there for sure. Humor is very subjective, obviously, but yeah, definitely check it out. It's on Game Pass, and honestly, a lot of great moments in there. And I'm pretty sure that I'm forgetting a bunch of great moments too. My game of the year, for those wondering, Elden Ring, what a great game. It's one of those very unique games in a sense where if you take a left turn, you get rewarded for it. If you take a right turn, you get rewarded for it. And whatever direction you go and whatever off the beaten path you end up going to ends up being something that is not a waste of time, which is something that is very rare in games these days, because they always like to waste your time and keep you around for unnecessary long periods of time without giving you something for it. So therefore, Elden Ring was really a breath of fresh air, and I guess I've been leaning more and more towards experiences that are just a little bit different. You know, there's a lot of dime a dozen games out there, and every single AAA game that comes out these days just kind of seems like, yes, I'm really looking forward to the new Saints Row, and it's a disappointment. Callisto Protocol, really and it's a disappointment. So this kind of unfortunately goes on like that. So hopefully in the new year we'll be seeing more exciting games out there. You know, there's a few things that I'm definitely keeping my eye on. For example, Dead Island 2, and well, the Resident Evil 4 remake is looking rather spicy too. But hopefully that won't disappoint either. But you know. But going by the track record of the previous Resident Evil remakes, I think we're going to be fine. And while we're on the topic of streaming, I've been trying my hand again at RP. I've been playing on NoPixel for the past couple of months. It's been very different to playing normal online GTA. Obviously, I am very much enjoying my time with it. I'm just kind of trying to figure out, like, you know, where to go next and like what the next move is going to be. NoPixel is this really wonderful opportunity where, you know, obviously you always encounter some streamers and that might, you know, get some more viewers. And while the main reason I'm on there is because it's kind of been always a bucket list for me to really be on there and just kind of explore what it's like. Time has really flown by, you know. You just, before you know it, you've been playing on there for 6 months and you've got a whole heap of experience from top to bottom, you know. Some good, some bad, but hey, you know, that's the nature of RP. So I know some of you might just kind of go like, RP, but yeah, I used to be like that too until I started exploring it myself and just see how kind of you know, how interesting it actually can be and what kind of fun scenarios you can get into. And to me, it's also just kind of fun to just, you know, have a way to kind of just goof off and talk to some folks and have a good old time. But, you know, I guess time will tell. I have to say, though, that at the moment, writing a little solo has been refreshing, but I'm definitely going to start looking for a group more actively, hoping that in the new year I'll find a new group of people that I can go and hang out with, and maybe I'll even try my hand at the, you know, North American time zone as well. We'll see how it goes. As long as we have a laugh and some fun while we're doing it, that's all that matters. As for that indie game we've been talking about for the past 9 years, nothing really significant has changed. We had the expanded and enhanced versions and the 2 updates, and that's been kind of it. The quality of life stuff is nice, but I've talked about literally anything in those updates in separate videos, and I don't particularly feel like repeating myself about it, so go watch those if you haven't already, because I'm lazy. I feel that GTA Online is kind of in this position where it's becoming less and less interesting for people to kind of interact with, and Rockstar sadly is doing very little to change that. I hope that they know what they're doing with this move because, you know,
hey, man cannot live on bread alone. I know, I tried that shit.
I'm praying to the gamer gods that 2023 is the year we finally see GTA 6 officially revealed. And well, maybe we don't have to spend the 10th anniversary of GTA Online wishing Rockstar would please stop treating us like the side hoe they visit on the weekends. Like, I'm literally on my knees. Like, I'm begging. I need it. I want to talk about a different GTA. Like, please. And finally, 2022 was also the year that they pulled the plug on Red Dead Online. What a shame. Anyways, thank you again for all the support in 2022. Have a fantastic 2023 with all the health, love, and all the good things that may happen to you indeed. And finally, don't drink and drive, or I will ask Stephen Ogg to make a Trevor cameo for you, and you will not enjoy it.
Trevor is a cartoon, but I myself could never be a cartoon. Ever. Because a cartoon is not even real.